Wrong camera. But maybe right camera. We're gonna try this today. Except my light is in the way. Let's see if I can move it screen a bit. And no. Okay. That's probably gonna drive me nuts, this being clipped off here because of the light. We're gonna roll with it. I accidentally apparently set up the wrong camera. But at least this way, like when I'm looking at the screen, I'm kind of looking at you instead of away from you. So that's good. Hello, Freya. Hello, everyone. It's a fine Sunday afternoon. Hoping to make some quick progress on this and go for a hike in a little bit. Because it's beautiful outside. I really don't know why I'm inside, but you know, that's just the way it is. So, today we've got these wonderful little controllers here. They're called the nrfmicro. They're called that because they're Pro Micro footprint using an NRF 58 something, I don't know, numbers, NRF controller. Looks a lot like... Oh, that one's not open. Looks a lot like this. Now that one's fell out. Okay, well, this is the actual controller on the PCB. So it's got a little antenna down here, and it's got all the stuff, and yada yada yada, and it's all surface mount fun times. There's a bunch of passive components with it. So mostly resistors, but there are a couple of diodes and some other stuff. We'll get to that in a bit. I have enough components to make 10 of these, but I'm only going to try to make one today. Because I think that's probably going to take most of the stream anyways. And wow, this I look really jaundiced in this. I don't have any control over this camera. So... Wow, Melbourne, Australia. Or Melbourne? I don't know. Words. 52840. Sure. It's on the bomb. Let's see. Project Wiki. It is... NRF 52840. Yep. So this is kind of what I'm following along with. This is the 1.4 version, which has a red LED and an optional crystal. The crystal is for better timing or something like that, but I don't know. I got the crystals, so I am going to be installing them. Let's see, let me actually pull up. I will put up oh, see, that has the right camera. What the hell was I even using? Anyways. Oh, okay. Anyways, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna pull up Safari so that y'all can see what I'm looking at. Boom. We're gonna move this, narrow this a bit. Oh, great. Oh, it's because of the sidebar on the wiki. That's awesome. Can I make it go away? There. Beautiful. Sorry, just fighting with responsive websites a little bit. There. Yeah, I know it covers up the title a little bit. That's fine. I don't care. because cat controller is what I've been calling it for a long time. So these particular boards, these PCBs, I bought them from Squash. He had a group buy a while back, but had a bunch of leftover PCBs, and I bought them off of him because I was like, I gotta have cat controllers. And then I was like, oh, look at all the parts I have to buy for this. I don't know how to buy parts. But looking at the nrfmicro wiki page a little more, there was like this AliExpress links down the side. Well, you can't see my mouse pointer. These AliExpress links down the side here. And I just went and I bought it all. And so now I also have like 100 of each of these resistors because you can only buy them in quantities the size of 100. But that's okay. So this is what we're dealing with here. This is a very blown up view. Like, as you can see, this is the blown up view of the controller. And it's bigger than this view. That's how small this thing is. So yeah, this is going to be quite the challenge. I was trying to figure out a way to line up the controller onto the board and then like hold it in place because it's very tight spacing. So it's got to be aligned almost perfectly. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge, but what we're going to do is we're going to start first with just getting resistors on, because one, I have lots of extra resistors, and two, I have lots of extra PCBs. So if I screw up any part of this, I can take this, snap it, and well, maybe not quite snap it, but like write NFG on it in silver pen, and then throw it in the trash, and not cry, not lose any sleep. Whereas this, screwing this up, you know, it's like a $5 part or something like that. So I'd like to not. So get warmed up with some resistors and, you know, have a little fun doing that. So with all that being said, I've got a bag of parts here, and I'm going to get started on this. Since this is already out, I'm going to put this up here. And we'll just get our roll of resistors out. And then probably going to want some helping hands a little bit. Can I do this and get it around there? I can. Nice. Okay, so good times. Let's start from, so going atop or across the top, I have 100k ohm resistor, 5.1k, 5.1k, 2 million or 2 mega. So see, I'm thinking about this though, and I'm like, this isn't actually a great order of operations, doing all the resistors first, because then I have resistors in the way of all these other pads. I should probably do So there is a soldering article. Ha, Jerry, you read my mind. Connect the underpads, Bluetooth module, USB connector. Unshielding, testing, equipment, videos. Start with the bottom of the board in this order. Okay. So it says started with the 10K or the two 1K resistors, which are on the outsides here. So there. And there. These two here. Then the 10Ks. Or 10K, there is no plural there. The diodes. 4.7K. Actually, there isn't a 4.7K. So this is for an older version, it must be. Because there's no 4.7K resistor in this. Oh, and this is, yeah, this is for an older version because they do the bottom and the top, but everything is on the top, I think. There's nothing on the bottom. Yeah. These are all, these holes here are actually, you through solder them. Because they're touching pads on the back of the module. So yeah, okay. Okay. We're getting there. I could start at the middle and go out. But I'm a little concerned about the controller itself. Because I have these pads on the top here that I need to solder that are right next to all these resistors. Oh. Okay, so I was just reading this. Modules might need sanding off about 1/10 of a millimeter from the sides before soldering. They're too wide. Let's see here. I mean, it is a really tight fit. But I think it'll fit without any modification. I need some tape. This is actually where I wish I had some blue tack. Because I wouldn't use blue tack to tack this on here for actual soldering, but I would do it for just kind of lining things up, which is all I'm doing with this blue tape. I just want to be able to plop it on there, get it lined up for eyeball purposes. Okay, now that fits. It's just really close, really tight. This is going to be a pain to solder. Alright. Why did I pick the hard hobby, right? Okay. So actually, what I think I'm going to do is do the hard part first. Oh wait, that's not even stuck to the... Sorry. Okay. Do that there, but I'm also gonna change the focus so it focuses on the controller. There. No, that's not what I said, focus. Okay. Locked. Okay, well that's not what I meant. Can I just autofocus this and then lock that? Alright, yell at me if that's like annoyingly just out of focus or something like that. Seems to be holding it relatively well. Let me tighten these on here a little bit. And then of course I have this lovely arm in the way of the camera, but that's fine. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to do one pad in the corner down here and get it aligned and hopefully locked into place with that pad. So I'm gonna just tin that pad like that. Shit, and I short it across to there. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I know this is gonna get soldered, so I'm gonna use that to kind of glue it hit the floor, it's lost. Okay. I'm gonna try taping this. Okay. Let's put some tape on there. Okay, that's lined up actually pretty decent, and yeah, it's out of focus, sorry. And it's almost out of frame. Like, this setup is a little frustrating because this camera is about as far toward me as I can get it, so I don't have a lot of flexibility in moving it. Because if I get it much closer, then it's the weight is all off, and it's going to fall over. Trying to think if I have something I can put on the back to weigh it down with. Try some gaffer's tape. Oh, that actually works. Okay. We're going to try it a little bit like this, maybe. This is also kind of in my way, because this is the phone I'm using is an iPhone 8 or 8S, I don't remember. Okay. Wait, actually, can I do that? Oh, even better. Hang on. We're getting there. And that is as tight a focus as I can get with that. Never mind. Wide angle it is. Okay, now... Nope. Can I get the... Oh. Okay, capture. Focus peaking. See, one thing... Oh, you can't see this because it's... Or you can't see the camera because it's frozen in time. Which is probably good, because it's probably nauseatingly... Actually, that's not moving too much. Main camera, reconnect. Awesome. Thank you, iPhone, for being useful and messing with my orientation. Landscape left. Reconnect. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to make this as good as I possibly can for you. Rotate 90 degrees clockwise. Whoops, that is not the right. What did I just rotate? Why is this like cinema mode now? That is really wobbly. I'm sorry. This is not... Thanks, Jerry, for the vote of confidence. I have a feeling today is going to be more fighting with the camera than it is fighting with the soldering. I don't know if it does or not, Beck. I don't believe so, but I could be totally wrong. Let's see. So for some reason, okay, let me play around with this a little bit. Sorry. Okay, we'll disable the rotation lock. We're gonna do this. Okay, so fix that. Transform, rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise. We're back at our intended setup. Okay. Now I'm going to lock the focus at 0.29. Okay. We're good. I did it. Yay. Okay. So let me actually unlock these things so I can turn them a little bit. All right. So let's squirt some flux on here. Get some solder on the iron. Got everything lined up, I think. Okay, and now it's pretty locked in place. Let's do the opposite corner up here. Get some solder on the iron. Just kind of plop it in there. Let the flux do its magic. Okay. I think I can take the tape off now. Let me see if I can zoom in a little more with the phone camera. Yeah, the alignment looks pretty good. It's a little bit sideways, but I think it's close enough for Congress. Okay. Like I said, the hardest part today, I think, is going to be fighting with the camera. because I think this is now good. So we're going to smear some flux on each of these little holes. And we're just going to dot some solder in here. Whoops. I just set the iron down on the floor or on the table instead of in its holder. So I turned this around because I'm right-handed. Coming at this from the right, I can see better. Okay. Yeah, this is much easier. I've got a little bridge going here. Trying to undo that. There. Okay. Those joints all look good. Let's flip this around. Grab it from the other side. Flux. Okay. Those also look good. No, I just moved the phone around a little bit just to see. So after the last stream, I tried to use this. I was like, I've seen Pete use it in a fixed position and put it onto there. I should probably do that, but I think I threw out the clip that holds this. And it was way too late to try to rig something up with duct tape or something, so I didn't. But that might happen in the future. But yeah, this is definitely a big improvement for soldering little stuff. Because I'm not actually looking at the phone other than being like, okay, is it in focus? And even then, like, my big monitor over here... Oh, God. I didn't even see the mess that's going on over here with this camera and my face and stuff. Whatever. A little behind the scenes action. But looking at the big monitor over here is easier for me to tell if it's in focus because I can actually see it myself. And, why don't we try... Let's just swap everything out. There. Boom. Oh, now I'm upside down. Rotate 180 degrees. Transition. There we go. Alright. Now, we're good. Let me see if I can... There we go. So this camera is actually the one built into my huge monitor. I have a 27-inch 5K display. Cyborg kitchen. I wish. I would totally go with some cyborg eyes or something. Because my vision is good, but it's deteriorating as I get old. And I would really love to be able to just see and not have to wear glasses. And like for stuff like this, being able to zoom in would be really cool. I think I need to change out the brass in my little thing because it's just full of solder now. Let me just do that. You want robot legs? Join me on the Appalachian Trail. You'll have robot legs by the time we're done. Or Appalachian Trail, I guess. Sorry. Oh, that's so much better. So much better. Why didn't I do that earlier? Pro tip, change out your brass sponge frequently. Okay, now I have a little too much solder on some of these pads here because those are tiny components. So I'm going to try to pull some of that off. I mean, really, there is no such thing as too much solder. I mean, there is in certain applications, but for this kind of stuff, there isn't really. But it does make it harder to get the component to go onto the board. I don't know. I'm just going to take some of the excess off. Now, because there's a bunch of shmoo flux all over this, I'm going to spray this and clean it real quick. That is dish soap. That is bleach. Okay. So we've got all the pads soldered. I think. I don't think there's connectivity on this side. So I'm gonna redo this side. Or not redo, but I'm gonna change a little bit. Because looking at it, there's solder on the pads on the controller, but not under. Like, it doesn't look like it's actually connected to anything. So we're gonna just shmoo this up here. And then add a whole bunch more solder. Try to get it to flow under the pads. Okay. Well, I rarely clean the flux either, but I wanted to get a good look at things. Okay, that is looking a lot better in terms of, I think we're actually making electrical connection. Okay. So there is, I think, a way to test this as is. Trimming the module, unshielding the module, USB connector, testing the soldering on the module. Okay. Testing power circuit. Okay. So this test actually tests the soldering quality. Don't power up the module. You can test inner pads of the multimeter in a diode mode. It says not continuity mode. What's funny is my meter's continuity mode also has a diode next to it. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. We're gonna find out. But it says connect the red probe on any ground pad. So I'm gonna tie a little wire on here and just hook it into that ground there. I mean, I'm looking at this picture though, and I'm seeing components. I don't think the rest of the components need to be soldered to be able to do this. I think that's mostly about everything else. I think we'll find out. Okay. Where's the testing? So I'm just wrapping a little piece of wire around this probe. And then I'm going to hang it in here. And just to make sure that that has good connection. Okay, it's good. So, test the GPIO pins. Multimeter shows a 0.9 or 0.6 to 0.9 volt drop voltage if the pad is firmly connected to GPIO. 0 indicates bad soldering. 0.01 is shorted to ground. Okay. So 0.6, 0.6, 0.6, 0.6, 0.7-ish. Nope, come on. Okay, that lower left one there is not connected. Near as I can tell. Or is that one? Or that one? Or that one. Okay, so I gotta figure out which pads those are. Let me just look at the sides here. I'm just going to reflow the whole thing. No harm in that. I really don't like these alligator clip arms. Okay. Oh, I know what it is. Duh. Haven't on the back of the pin or back of the controller yet. So on this, there are actually pads on the bottom because these need to be soldered. So I got to do that real quick. Okay. Yeah, because there are these holes on the bottom that connect the pads on the back of the controller. Now let me just look at the back of the controller here, just to get an idea of what I'm looking at. So you can see you've got the outside pads along the top and the side. And you've got an inner set of pads too. So we just need to solder those up. Which should be as simple as doing a line, a flux right here. And then loading up our tip with some solder. Just kind of dragging it in there. Okay. Now let's give this another shot. So all the sus holes were on the left side. So I'm just gonna quickly run down those again. Okay, that one's good. That one. That one. That one. That one's not still. That one's good. That one's good. Oh. I was like, and that one's shorter to ground, because it is ground. So we've got O20, which is not soldered. Or not connected. So that's this one here on the left. And is there a diagram? For what that maps to on the PCB or on the controller, so that I can look exactly which pin I need to. Well, there's a schematic. Okay. So let me just clone this real quick. AI CAD. Okay, I guess it's not a project. New open recent import project. Okay, so I'm running an older version of KiCad, it seems. So many yaks. Always yaks. For some reason that is going really slow. Or not at all. Okay, let's try it from a different mirror. Okay, from any mirror whatsoever. Anything. Did my internet die? Nope. Why are none of these working? Oh, they are. They're just really slow. and really big. What's up, fish? Okay. Work trip. Lots of no fun, yeah. Well, especially if you're getting back on a Sunday. Because presumably that means you also have to work tomorrow. 6-hour drive, jeez. I would have made them fly me. I'm not... I don't... 6-hour drive for a work trip? No, thank you. Oh yeah, if you're driving for work, you are actually legally on the clock. Like, that is not a question. Okay, so I have this nrfmicro.pro open, but I can't open the schematic file. So one problem with KiCad on the Mac is that it's a bunch of little binaries. Like, so you've got the main project window, but then like to look at the PCB, it uses PCB new for whatever reason. And then there's one for schematic viewer and one for this and one for that. It's not all one like unified application. And it doesn't do a good job of associating itself with files. So I have the .kicad_PCB file, and that's fine. Like, if I double click that, it opens in KiCad and gives me an error. But if I double click the KiCad SCH file, it does nothing. Because it's like there's no program associated with this. And so I don't know. Because it's just not designed for Mac, which is fine. Okay. Replace. I'm just really hoping that this actually opens. Well, see, as salary, like, that's when you just say, well, no, I don't work on weekends. And if they don't like it, then, you know, I don't know. I have strong opinions, and I am in a very privileged situation in my career and my field, so I can't, you know, take what I say with plenty of salt, but I don't put up with shit like that. My time is my time. I protect it fiercely. Okay. I mean, so I can brew install KiCad, but that just downloads the thing that I just installed. And they have an overarching thing. But PCB new is this weird, like, I don't know. Although now with the new version of KiCad, maybe it's better. And it seems to be signed. This is exciting. KiCad, the new version, is actually signed. So I don't have to, like, click through the, oh no, this is whatever. I'll just, open whatever you give me. Create or open a project to edit a schematic. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. Oh my god. Oh my god, it actually worked. Okay, the new KiCad is awesome. They've done a lot of good things here. Okay, so we got P020. Let me pull up so y'all can see KiCad. iTerm. Okay. So we've got the schematic editor here, P020. And that is connected to well, this doesn't say. But I can open the PCB and see what... Oh, man. Oh, wow. So, hang on. Let me just fix this real quick, and then we're gonna change this to the PCB editor. So you can see, this is the PCB. That is extensive. Okay, so P020 is the third pad down on the inside. So that's actually really good news, because I think that's a lot easier to fix than the side pads, which might, it's just hard to get more solder underneath there. Whereas this, I can just put more solder in the hole. Yeah, let me zoom in real quick here. So, oh no, that's 20. No, that's right. So P020 is here. It's really hard to read. And you can't see my mouse pointer. Fuck. Okay. See if I can't shrink that anymore. But you can see P020 here. I really hope that's showing up. It is. Okay, so you can see P020 there and P020 over here. So that's the pin we want to mess with here. Okay. That's the pin we want to get more solder on. Oh yeah, that one was just empty. Like, I just pulled all the solder out of it. Okay. Now I've got a little bridge, so get rid of the bridge. That one is proving to be a challenge. But let's find out if we have connectivity. So we've got ground here. Still nothing. I have a fear. And the fear is that for some reason it's either misaligned or there's actually no pad under there or something, that this is just not connecting at all to the controller. But it looks like, I mean, you can see the hole, right? But it's wet on the bottom. So we still get nothing. That's frustrating. Okay, so I'm gonna check. Put the ground in. We're gonna check 17. Which is the one right next to it. Okay. And then 34, so this pin here isn't connected to anything. Yeah, see, there's something wrong here because I've got the probe in that pin. So this is a pin that's not actually this pin, the fourth one down here. Oh, you jerk. Okay, hang on. Let me I really wish I had better probes for this. But the pin below it, the fourth one down, isn't connected to anything on the board. On the bigger, the PCB. Like you can see right here, this PO22, not connected to anything. But that I'm getting a good reading from. I'm getting a good reading from this pin out here. But I'm not getting anything when... when connecting directly, putting the probe on that. But I'm gonna see if... Yeah, I'll try that. Suck it all out and put more solder in there, or more flux and more solder in. Okay. So I'm actually going to get this to just hang completely from here, because I'm getting annoyed with this probe. Okay. So that is now completely hands-free. it's like permanently attached, kind of. Shit. This is where autofocus would come in handy if I could get it to stay focused. Or if I could get it to stay focused on the right thing. That's not a bad idea. Okay. Black probe. So we've got nothing here. We've got good conductivity through there. Good through there. You can see the trace is there, but if I put my probe in here, I get nada. But if I go to the one next to it, it works, and the other one next to it, it works. Part of me wants to just bridge this across to here. Just bridge these two, and then remap it in firmware. And if it comes to it, that's probably what I'll do. But I'm going to try to not at first. So yeah, let's try to solder suck this. This is going to be interesting because there's a lot of moving parts here. So let's get some flux on. Soldering iron on there. Okay, so that got it clean. Now I'm going to get in here and just kind of like lightly scrape. And actually, you know what? Instead of using flux and then solder, let's use flux and solder. So we're just going to fill this up with some paste. Because if you're not familiar with solder paste is basically powdered solder mixed with flux. So yeah. And then you put your iron on there and it burns all the flux off. The paste goes down in and presumably makes a good connection. So let's try that. Okay, I see a little bit of a dip in there, but that doesn't mean it's a bad connection. Let's get our probe out. 020. Bupkis. Still bupkis. Well, I feel like it would be really hard for it not to be aligned. What I'm thinking is that it's effectively a lifted pad. Because this is not the actual chip, this is a little PCB. And the chip is underneath here. So if that pad is gone, then there's nothing that can be done for it. The only thing I could really do is try to take the whole thing apart. Nope, that is not what I wanted. Come on. Clean it out. Well, I just refloated a bunch of times, so I'm going to see if that helped. I doubt it did, but we'll see. No, nothing. Nothing. Okay, let me... We're busting out all the tools today. And see, I'm really glad I tested all this before I soldered all the rest of the components on. So I'm glad I did it this order. Do the hard part first. Okay. So we're getting here with some wick. Okay. Now I'm going to stick this way down in there. Yeah, you know what? I'm calling this. I don't think that one's going to work. Now, desperation is when I go to the store and get bananas. Not just one PCB, but one controller. So I could remove this this controller. I have a hot air station. But I would rather put this in the I'll fix it later box. AKA the trash can, because I'm not going to fix it later. Okay, so there's a thin piece of wire. Yeah, I'm calling it. This one's a dud. Sad face. Okay. NFG. I do want to pull. I do want to pull this off because I want to see if the pad was bad. I want to see what happened on the other side. Actually, you know what? So I think the mistake I may have made here is, and you can't see, yeah, you can. The mistake I may have made here is remember I put a line of flux on this side, on that, or on the other side, to try to glue this in place. I think that might have been my fatal flaw. Because I think what happened there is something broke. I don't know. But I think that was the problem. So we're not going to do that this next time. Because the tape method worked pretty well, I think. You know, it was a little hard to align it, but actually because I had the two pieces and I could kind of move it a little bit, or the two ends, I could move it a little bit and then stick it down. I think that worked pretty well. So we're going to write this one off. So that's like $5-6 down the drain. We're going to bust out another board, another PCB. And we've got our other controller here. And let's give it another go. So, I did like the... Well, I did kind of like the put a little bit in the corner here first. But I don't think it's necessary. Like, tin that corner pad. Yeah. We're just going to do it this way. Round 2. The first one is always your burner. It's your practice board. Right? If I get this on the right on the third try, I'll be very happy. So like nailing it in one, that would have been great, but I wasn't expecting that to happen. I was expecting something to go completely sideways, if not literally, figuratively. Okay, I am going to use the phone as a microscope a little bit this time because it gives me a good view of the alignment of the whole board here. Okay, slide that under there. Okay, and then move the controller over just a touch. Not a bad idea. And I know which pins go on the bottom. I will have to make sure that whatever pins I do on the top, that I do the ground at least. But that I can look at the schematic or the PCB for. Because I need ground to test. And oh, what a mess here. Okay. Ground. Ground. Oh, so one of the bottom pads is ground. One of the top pads is also ground, or several of the top pads are also ground. But at least one on the bottom is ground. That's good enough for me. Okay. Because I'll know if that one's bad because none of the pins will work. Actually, there's only one ground pin on the bottom. So yeah. Okay. There's a really good chance I'm going to burn myself here. Okay, so it is slightly crooked. Let me see if I can fix that. It's not so crooked that the pads are misaligned, I don't think. But it's crooked enough that it'll bother me. Let me just pop this off of here and look. Oh, but you know what? There's still enough flexibility that I can twist it a little bit while I solder the other corner. Okay. This'll do. Hey, Lorenzo, thanks, and have a good night. Okay. Good enough for me. Let's flip this over and do the bottom. Okay, so you can see copper through all those pads. Through all those holes. But it's really hard to see in these. And it just feels... Oh, no. That is way misaligned. So, like, it's... Can I unmanual? Can I just autofocus this? You can't. It's not going to focus close enough. This is way misaligned on this side. Okay. Well, I'm not trying to, or I'm not using solder paste. I was only using it on that one to see if I could get it to go in there. Right now, I'm just trying to get this aligned. Okay, without ripping pads. There. That was a little dicey for a second, because I accidentally almost pulled pad off. Which actually lifting a pad at this stage wouldn't be too terrible because I have extra PCBs. Okay. Oh, did I already... I thought I turned it off. My bad. Sorry about that. Really, what I would absolutely love is a little teeny C-clamp. I would absolutely love a little teeny C-clamp. Focus, you fuck. Okay. The alignment has to be perfect. And this is just a pain in the ass to maneuver. Okay, come off. Okay. Clothespins. Not the right kind. But I do have a big bag of clothespins. If only I still had a 3D printer, I could just print a C-clamp. Okay. Sorry, I needed to take a quick moment there to rethink my strategy for this, because it's clear that this is a pain in the ass, and I was trying to figure out if there was a way I could make it less or not. Okay, we're gonna try lacking C-clamps. We're gonna use this alligator clip from this other. Yeah, I almost need a jig. If I was doing a bunch of these, I would absolutely make a jig. But I think a C-clamp would be probably good enough. Did I just nail it in one? I just nailed it in one. Okay. Don't move. And yes, I am about to burn the shit out of my finger. Don't move, he says, as he then moves to recheck position. Said I was about to burn shit on my finger. I wasn't lying. Okay. So we've got good alignment, I'd say. It's a little bit toward this way, but it looks like I can see contacts through all those there. I can see contacts under there. I can see contacts there, and I can see contacts there. I am going to go with this. We're going to lock in this other corner, and then we're going to do the bottom. Oh, okay. We're learning. We're learning. Yeah, like I said, if I was doing a bunch of these, I'd have a jig or a better tool, like C-clamp. You know, a bad carpenter blames his tools. A C-clamp would go a long freaking way. It's not that I have bad C-clamps. I don't have 0 C-clamps. And a C-clamp would do really nicely on this, I think. Okay. So I'm just gonna, because we're gonna be doing electrical tests on this, I'm going to just fix this little bridge right here. We'll do the bottom. Okay, let me just double check. See, now I am using the camera as the phone as a microscope because my eyes looks like this is way off, but through the phone lens, I can see they're fully filled. So I think we're good. So we're gonna put this here. Put this here. And I am gonna use paste on these. Trying to kind of smush it down into the holes a little bit. Nice thing about paste is then I just do this. And that didn't work as well as I was hoping. But it's fine. Some solder got down into every hole, so I think we have connectivity. What I'll do now is I'm gonna wipe this off here real quick. And then flux. And then traditional solder. There we go. All right. So let's put this through here. And I really hope all these grounds are connected to each other. Like it's not just independent grounds somewhere. I doubt it would be, but okay. So for bottom pads, we've got 017. Oh man, okay. Oh, wait. Continuity check of what? So I've got those pads there. Okay, so this is backward. So the top right should be ground. Okay, that's ground. Good. So let's start with the lowest right here. So let me see if I can get this back up here. It's all visible. This is really hard to read, both for me and for y'all. Nope, that's not the right place. Just because it's a really busy schematic. But we see the lower right. Damn it. Why does it think I'm right clicking now? What's holding control somewhere? Sorry, Sherry. Google Translate is not doing you any favors. What I'm doing right now is, if we look at this guide, if I can find it. So I'm doing this testing GPIO pins. So you hook your positive probe to ground and set your meter on continuity, or not on continuity, but on diode test, and then check where you want to go. So that 0.772, it says multimeter shows 0.6 to 0.9 volt drop voltage if the pad is connected firmly to GPIO. Which this should be, because this is connected, these two pads right here are connected. Okay. So now I'm going to go back over to So blue LED. Blue LED. Okay. Okay, well. God, this is hard to read. There we go. That's so much better. Okay. Jesus. Okay, so this is 111 down the corner. That was just working. No, it's 106. Oh, that's right. Because it's backward. Whatever vum.ong is I'm sure just garbage. Spam. Okay. Damn it, this was working just a second ago. Okay. Ground. .11. No. 1.06. I'm telling you, this was just working a minute ago. Y'all saw it. There's proof. There is video evidence that one of these pins was working. No, it wasn't even a link. They just post gibberish, whatever. And I think what they're trying to do is just blend in to make themselves look like, oh, look, I've posted thousands of times across a bunch of different channels and nobody's banned me, hoping that they slip by the radar, not knowing that I have like 3 followers. I actually have 320, but like 3 people in my stream at any given point, so it's really easy for me to go like, oh, that's obvious spam or something. Well, see, now I'm getting a reading, but it's totally wrong. I don't understand what's happening here. My brain isn't functioning. Something is just seriously not correct here. I'm sorry, Sherry. I really can't I don't understand what you're trying to ask. So that's ground. I mean, I already said if none of the pins work, it's because ground isn't set. And so I'm like staring at the solution here. No, sorry, Sherry. I wasn't talking about you. There was another thing that I deleted. My apologies. I didn't mean to imply that you're posting gibberish. You're posting questions, and those are good. I just don't understand what you're asking for. This other thing was, like, very obviously garbage. Like, yeah. So, my apologies. Okay, so we have continuity there. Okay, so that was it. I fixed it, I guess. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm checking, following the guide here. So many windows. Following the guide here that says that this tests soldering quality. So I'm testing ground. You know, I have this probe hooked up to ground here. And then I'm using this side to probe individual pins on the outside, but I'm only starting with the bottom ones to make sure those all work, because the last one, everything except for one of the bottom ones worked. So, yeah, and now that I think about it more, doing the bottom first actually doesn't make it any easier to remove this module, because the bottom is holding on to all these. So it wouldn't have really mattered. I just saved having to solder some of the top pins or something. I don't know. Okay. So 1.06. This 0.28. No, 0.10 is connected to one of the top side pins. 0.09 is connected to one of the top side pins. 0.24 is connected to one of the top side pins. 013 is connected to one of the top side pins. 020 is connected to one of the bottom side pins. And we have continuity this time. Good, good. 017 is connected to one of the bottoms. Let's just go look at all these. So that's not, that is 15. Can I follow this trace? Is there a way to do that? Okay, 15 is connected to here. Then we got ground, 8. Which is connected here, and 6, which is connected there. So we've got 6, 8. Okay, so those are all good on that side. Then on this side we've got 11. Which should be connected to... Oh, no. 11 is connected to a topside pad. Okay, 28. Connected to a topside pad. P003 is connected to bottom side pad, obviously. Or maybe not, obviously, actually. Because it's connected to one of the ones I soldered on the top, okay. 113, and that one works, so that one's good. 113 is connected to a top pad. 002 is connected to a top pad. 029 to a top pad. 031 to a top pad. 030 to a top pad. And then we've got VCC, reset, ground, bat. Okay, cool. So all the bottom ones that are connected to outer pins are good. So this is progress. This is more than we did with the last one. Okay. Very, very good. Alright, now let's solder up the top ones. This should be pretty easy. Knock on wood. Okay. Move some flux on here. Some solder. Just getting rid of bridges here. even though some of those are probably already connected, like through the PCB. Okay, so that's the top one's done. So let's wire this back up. And then check all our GPIO pins. Okay. I want to clean that one up a little more, though. Like, I feel like there's a bridge there. Let's just solder suck this, because I really don't want solder in those holes anyways. Oh, come on, you're a jerk. Let me just double check. So that is 0.24. Okay, 0.24 is connected to that pin right there. It's fine. It's totally fine. it's bridged to the pin. Okay, so that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That is... no, that is good because the labels are on the top. So that one's good. That one's good. That's good. That's good. Now my solder connections are fine, and that's why I'm testing them. Because if I didn't get the controller soldered correctly or something happened, there's no sense in putting the rest of the components, tiny little components, on the board if that's not good. Okay, so this is a good one. We have a proper... The controller is soldered and appears to work. Now for the hard part, getting all these really tiny components on. Okay. So, I'm gonna close this. Just gonna close KiCad and get it out of here. It's not even on the screen anymore. Transition. Let's go back over to here. Now we look at, I'm going to start from the bottom and go up. And I don't know if this is actually text overlaid on the image or if Safari is just being cool and letting me highlight text in an image, but whatever is happening here, I am kind of here for it. And it looks like, judging by this, well, you can't see, is... yeah, okay. So now I'm gonna just clean some of these pads up here. Try to get some of the excess solder off. Okay. So we'll go with the 820K, which is on the far left. And I have a few spares. Because I need one for each of these, and I have like 100 of them. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Okay. Okay, this is going to be a little difficult because the phone is actually in the way of my left hand with the tweezers. So this is probably going to get a little bouncy. I apologize. I'm trying really hard. Okay. This is definitely one of those times where it's way easier to do this and not try to film it. Okay. You jerk. Okay. Yeah, definitely patience. Like, I don't know if anybody noticed it, but a minute ago I took a step back when I was trying to get this aligned. And I was just like, just gotta step back for a second here. One, just give myself some distance from the frustration. But two, also, I thought about, is there something else I can do? What do I have available to me? in terms of tools, in terms of parts, in terms of whatever. Okay, that one's on there good. And I didn't really have anything. And honestly, I didn't really change my approach much. But just taking that step back for a second was extremely helpful. Because it allowed me to... It took the urgency out of what I was doing. It let me just kind of kick back for a second and acknowledge that, hey, this will get done. This is not impossible. If it takes me all day to solder this module on here, then it takes me all day to solder this module on here. I'm not doing this for money. It's not my job, my full-time job, or even a part-time job, or any job. This is a hobby. Okay. Okay. That one is situated. Let's see if I can... grab a hold of it. Let's try a bigger, flatter pair of tweezers. You know what I never did is I never ordered any normally closed tweezers. Because this would be really helpful right now. The other thing I hope people learn from me is that if I can do this crap, anybody can. Like, holy crap, this is not easy. But it is possible. So possible that even I can do it. I mean, I say that and I haven't actually successfully done this yet, but we're not far. It's gonna happen. Shit, that is not what I wanted. Okay, well that's soldered. Something I want to work on is getting things more level, because that resistor is very much not level. Oh yeah, no, flux is great. Flux is definitely one of the handiest things. Okay, so now we have a 10K ohm. I'm really glad that when they packaged these for me, they wrote on the real what they are, because it's all written on the actual resistor. But that is some tiny, 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 tiny numbering. So having it actually written on the reel itself is extremely helpful. Okay. I mean, I have done that before, Dionysus. I don't make a habit of it, though. But when in doubt, sometimes just slap your finger on there. I do really wish I could find some tweezers that have a third... They had a finger on the end. So I can hold the component in place and then push on it, and it holds it against the thing. So I can hold it from basically from 3 sides at once. No, I built these. I'm building these myself. In large part because of the challenge, but also because I had all the PCBs. So, yeah. If I were to be building a bunch of these for like selling or something like that. So the hot swap sockets thing, I'm not actually pushing on the hot parts. I am only pushing on the plastic, and I do that just to hold it in place so it doesn't get misaligned. Yeah, so it doesn't get misaligned, and then once it's cool, then it's fine. But yeah, that's definitely... I'm not touching the hot parts. I mean, my finger does get warm, and sometimes I do get a little too close. But the goal is not to be holding any hot pieces. Okay, so the camera is driving me nuts right now. Especially because the focus is all wrong. Y'all can't see anything. I keep hitting it with the tweezers. Okay. See, I also wish I had, like, at the end of my soldering iron, a little finger. Because sometimes I just need to push down, like, okay, this is not flat against the board. I want to just rotate that a little bit, right? So it means I have to take my hand away, go back. Okay, that one's good. That one's good. And there's a bridge. Okay, now there is no bridge. Go enjoy your dinner. Best not to make your wife angry. Alternatively, you could get her into the channel. And then you can both watch while you're having dinner. But it's totally fine if you don't do that. Okay, so that one's in there. So now we've got the crystal, and the crystals I have are not labeled. Okay, is that in focus there? think those are the crystals. Oh wait, they are. There is some writing on them. Okay. You're not going to be able to see this, but I'm going to look at this real quick under the microscope to make sure. A727L. Well, I'm pretty sure that's what it is because I have 10 of them. They look like crystals. Process of elimination with all the other components that I have. That's the only thing that could be. Okay. Oh, Flux. You're a wonderful thing. Okay. All right. Then we go the other side, the other direction now. So it's calling for red LED on the far right. And now I've got LEDs in this bag. Got a bunch of them. But I don't know which is red and which is blue. Alright, actually let me put the crystals back before they fall on the floor and get lost. Have a good one, Beck. So I'm guessing this is blue. And these are red. But I don't actually know. If only there was a way to test. If there was a way to run some current through one of these. Like a thing that is meant for testing diodes, even. Of which an LED is one of. Okay, that's blue. And we want red. So I'm going to take this one, slap it on there. Just get it out of the way, and I just dropped something on the floor. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. What was it? Good times. It was like my bag, all of my LEDs, but I don't see where it went. There's a strip. There's another strip. They fell and landed directly in my trash can, which isn't even directly under there. Like, they had to go off and then in to fall into the trash can. So that's cool. But I thought I had a whole bag full of these. I don't even know what just happened. Okay, well, I'll dig through the trash later. Oh wait, the rest of them are stuck on the bottom here. So this is one of the downsides, the many downsides to this method of this blue tape, is that the bottom of this is also sticky, which means it picks up stuff. And in my environment, that is dangerous because there's shit everywhere. Okay, so there's an LED that looks like it got cut, but it will at least tell me what color. This little reel is. No, these are not even, these aren't RGBs, they're just single color. Okay, well that one's blue-ish. It's also broken. Okay, is this red? Come on, red. And I'm seeing now, this must be red. It looks like they hit it with a permanent marker or something, a highlighter. So I'm relatively confident this is red. Is that top or bottom? That's red. Okay. Wait, can you guys see that? No. Yeah, I'm actually really impressed. This is just an AliExpress vendor, and they did a good job labeling everything. You still can't see it. There. Lights up red. They're tiny. I still think I'm missing one strip of LEDs. But it's fine. I have enough. Okay, where'd that one go? It's there. So if we look real close at the LED package itself, there's a little green stripe, and I doubt this is going to get focused on, but we'll see. There's a little green stripe on the right side there. That appears to be this green stripe on the LED over here. So that's how we know which direction this goes. So we put this, we just drop it onto the board so that everything is sideways and wrong. It's backward. Okay. And actually, I'm going to turn this around. And yeah, let me fix the focus in a second, sorry. Unregistered, you may be really behind on the stream. Either that or I'm really behind reading chat. Okay, yeah. My bad. I try really hard to pay attention, but you know, sometimes sometimes I fall behind. Okay, so that is that LED. So now we need a 1K ohm resistor. Okay, and these 1K ohm resistors, I believe, are for the LEDs. Current limiting resistors. There's one on each side. God, these things are tiny. Okay. That one's good. See that? Okay. Rogers Griswold. They rent. No idea what that means. I had no idea. But they're gone now. Okay. So then I have TP. Oh, this is going to be fun. So the TP4054 and the AP2112K look identical in terms of the pinout on the legs. Okay, so that's not it. The 3407. Okay, so this is the AP2112, so that goes on the left. Those are diodes. Okay. So I'm going to hold on to that for a second because I'm about to use those. So this is where I'm kind of wishing I had done this middle row first, because I need to get real up close and personal with these pins. These pads right here, and they're right next to these resistors. Because what I want to do is I want to lock this in place by getting one of these pins lined up. I mean, I could do it with this, but I feel like it'd be easier over here. And then solder the rest of them. If for no other reason than they already have solder on them. And therefore, it'll help it stay flatter or something. I don't really know. I'm just making stuff up. We're making this up as we go along. A little bit of flux. A little bit of extra solder. Get our components. Okay, and that is a bridge. I see the bridge. That's fine. Okay, because I'll fix the bridge in a minute. Just want to get it kind of tacked on there. Come on. I don't need to get the solder off of the shield, but I kind of want to. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I report the bots as spam, but if you were to look at it, you know, on its own, that message isn't commercial content or spam. But it's clear to me as a human being that they're trying to make those bots. They're trying to. There's a term for it. Trying to make the bots like real. It's a thing they do on Twitter where a bot will, or on Reddit, say, reposting content, reposting comments, doing all this to have it, you know, to make it look real, to make it look less like a bot. Because you look at their post history or whatever, and you're like, well, I mean, they've got a lot of karma and they've got a lot of, you know, blah, 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 blah. But if you actually look at what they're saying, in this particular case, it's like, oh, well, that's obviously just gibberish. But if it goes unreported, then it counts toward them. So, I don't know. Cool. Lux for the win there, too. Okay, put these back in their little baggie. Grab one of these. We're getting close. We're getting real close. I say 3 hours into the stream. I'm gonna have to go get some water here in a minute. Okay. Dump one of those out. Put this back in the baggie. Back in the bigger baggie. Okay. There's already a bunch of flux on there, so I'm not going to add more. But I need a big glob of solder. Slap this on here. And there. Okay. That's a big mess. I just made a big mess. Okay, some of it. Alright, it's all cleaned up. I am skeptical about these joints here. I want to put just a touch more solder on them. Okay. Now that's looking good. Okay, now we've got a 1K ohm resistor, and I know that because the next to it is the red LED, or the blue LED, I should say. So go grab our resistor pile. It's 2 meg, 1K. And then the red, or the blue LED, which I have one of right here. Had, I should say. I don't know where it went. You look away for half a second and the thing is gone. Okay, well. Double check that it's the color we want. Blue. It's really hard to see, but it's not red. Okay, so that's the blue LED on there. Okay, so here is a problem. Potentially. I'm seeing two of these A03407 on the board. One on each side. And I think I only have 10 of them. Or no, 3407, I have a bunch of them. Never mind. Okay. So we've got 3 legs. One of them goes here, and the other 2 go there. There's already quite a bit of flux on there, I think, but I'm just going to dab a little more. Beautiful. Nope. It's good enough. But that's better. Okay, so next to that, I have another 2 mega ohm resistor. There we go. They really are close together. But once you get over the need to like not make bridges and just like realize that you can fix the bridges really easily, it becomes a lot easier, I think. Because then I'm not so worried about like absolute precision with my soldering. I just slap some fucking solder on there and then clean it up after. Okay, so now we got a 5.1K. Like, see, I just made a huge pile of bridge. And I am totally fine with that. So then what I do is go in there and then I undo one of them. Okay, and I'm pretty sure I got them all. I think there may... Whoops. I think there may be a bridge. Yeah. It's hard to tell if that's a bridge or just reflecting off of the flux. So I'm going to clean some of the flux up. Oh no, it's definitely a bridge. Okay. But I also just yanked the component off. So, we'll try that one again. And I'm going to get a new one because it was on the tip of my soldering iron for longer than I feel comfortable with. And I have 100 of them, so might as well. Okay. So the wonderful thing about flux is it makes your solder bead up on pads. It makes it turns it into like a water droplet or something. It's hard to describe. Let's look at the microscope. Just me, because I don't feel like... Yeah, no, there's totally a bridge there. Damn it. Okay. Sorry, this is going to be really out of focus for a second. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to flow this stuff and get any excess solder out of the middle there. Because I think I just fixed it. But there is a bridge, particularly persnickety bridge, between these two here. And looking at the... Well, actually, you know what? I don't see it on this green here. And I already closed KCAD, so hang on. But let me, actually, before I do any of that, let me just make sure I see if I... Oh, no, there's totally a trace there. There is totally a trace there. That's supposed to be connected. Yeah, that's 100% a trace. So I'm fine with that. Okay. But I do want to just double check. Here, Morton Raymond. Goodbye, Morton Raymond. Okay. So I want to open this up in KiCad again. Oh yeah, those are both ground. In fact, on all of the resistors in this row, the bottom pads are all ground. So that's good to know. Okay. So the next thing, we have a little teeny diode. Little SOD 302 or 323 boys. Okay, and the stripe points toward the USB port. Okay. And then another 5K or 5.1K. Okay. Then 100K. Can't believe I'm doing this. Okay. Let's see if we can get that off there. Can. Go. So that's so what just happened is I can't see. I'm so sorry. This is like the worst to try to video because, yeah. Anyways, what just happened here is I was heating these pads to try to fix a bridge, and I accidentally heated both pads on this one resistor, and it pushed it up against this component leg. Now I'm having a hell of a time getting it out of there. I'm gonna just for a second, sorry. Yeah, that looks good, but I still have a bridge in this end. And those cannot be bridged. Actually, I'm pretty sure that one's good. Okay. So then we've got this little three-legged boy. Oh, okay. That's what these are. Real close now. I think we have this and the USB-C port. And then we test. See if it lets the smoke out. Okay. Let's tin up these USB pads. Actually, before we do that, now a word from our sponsor. Please sponsor me. So I put some flux on there because what I want to do is get this on here and then just go boop and just lock it in place. But since I'm going to have my finger on there, I want it to go really fast. No, it didn't do it. Let's try a little more flux. And a lot more solder. Okay, that looks good. Yes, long stream, but it's almost over. Knock on wood. Because I just have these to solder up. Okay, perfect. It's supposed to just be one big bridge, right? Just one all the way across? No, it's not. But it wasn't so much my intent to do that, but that was an okay thing, because at least I know now every pin on this port has solder on it, so now I just need to pull it off. Or pull off the excess, rather. Just like that. That's a really good question. And I don't know the answer. Possibly my MX Osprey. And I will be building that as soon as finishing that build as soon as my case comes in for it. Because I did start building it off stream the other day. I put all the sockets and diodes on. So it just needs controllers and power switch. Or controller, I should say. And power switch. Okay. That USB-C port is done. Well, at least all those little legs are done. I'm fairly certain it's fine. Nope, it's not. I was going to say, I'm fairly certain it's fine if these are bridged. Kind of looks like they are, but they're not. But they're awfully close. But it is absolutely not fine if they're bridged. Because that's ground and plus 5 volt. Or V-bus, I guess. So I need to make absolutely certain those are not bridged. Now they are not bridged. Okay. And now I can just solder the physical structural bits. That is an NRF microcontroller. Hand soldered. Okay. So, one of the fun things about this also is we have out, testing ZMK. Uh-oh. No. Oh, are you kidding me? This is going to be another ordeal in itself. Okay, let me just smoke test it. Well, we have a LED on. And for grins, I'm going to try to flash or to see if I can get it into bootloader mode, which I doubt it. No, okay. Well, no smoke and we have an LED. So something about this works. So yeah, there's more I need to do to this apparently. E73 modules sell without bootloader and also, oh, yeah, you can't see that, but it's really tiny. E73 modules sell without bootloader and also write protection locked. So you might have to remove protection and write a bootloader. You can stay at flash this or this. Bootloader support UF2. To flash the bootloader, you need a J-Link or ST-Link or the Blue Pill board or Raspberry Pi. So I have Raspberry Pis. I have multiple Raspberry Pis. But I'll have to figure out how to do that. And it's already, we're almost 4 hours into the stream. I'm tired. And I meant to go for a hike, but it's now dark. So, I'm going to call it here. All of the components are soldered. Hopefully nothing is broken. It is plugged into power and hasn't triggered my computer's power protection features or it's caught on fire yet. So it's, you know, maybe it works. That was a hell of a time. I don't know how much more of these I want to do, but I might put some kits together, and if people want them, because I have tons of extra components, so we'll see. I only have 8 left at this point because I broke one. Because, well, I say I broke one because this one didn't work. That's NFG. But we'll see. I'm gonna go do something else for a little bit. Holy shit. Wow, this was not quite a marathon stream, but definitely a long one. But I feel really good about the progress made. I mean, by the end there, like, I felt much better about how I was soldering things, both in terms of actually how they were, you know, how the soldering was turning out, and also, you know, my ability to solder them quickly or at least like reasonably. So I feel like a future build of this won't take quite as bad or quite as long. But those are some tiny components and a lot of really tight spaces. Man, that took some doing. But it was fun. It was definitely, I learned some stuff. And it was good times. So I will attempt to get the firmware going on this. And if I get it all working, I will probably, I'll probably put it into my my MX Osprey. Because I want to make that wireless. Because this is definitely going to be a candidate for long-term travel stuff. So, looking forward to that. Anyways, thanks all for hanging out. Good times. I have so many random components on my desk. Hope you all have had a good weekend, and I hope you all have a great week. And I'll see you later.